pivotal for the 49ers. Again, I don't want to make it sound like so crucial because if they don't get out to a 14-0 lead, like the Niners are screwed. Of course not. I think they're still going to win no matter how the game's played. But if you want this game to be extremely on cruise control, come out on opening drives, back-to-back, score them, because it's going to take away their momentum. It's going to take them out what they're accustomed to probably doing and feeling naturally comfortable. So that suffocates the momentum away. But then also, what's the one thing about this Packers team that they get propped up so about? They're the youngest team in 50 years to make the playoffs. See how fragile their minds probably are as a young team, never been in the playoffs or with no experience versus you're a home team, you're rested. These guys on a short week, get the lead early. And I think the Packers are probably going to quit because they're young. It's like, God, man, we're 14-0. It's like, damn it. Then all of a sudden, either they don't quit or you're going to force them to press and panic and freak out, which is huge because then the whole game's going to be easier at that point. I was like, oh, crap, now we really can coast. We're going to do some simple things. We don't have to get too triggery, too much crazy as the 49ers, and they'll probably still win 35-17 or something like that. So, yeah, that's why I think it's 14. If you get to that lead early, especially stonewalling as a defense, you're going to be looking mighty fine. You're going to tempt them to you're going to have that possibility of them either quitting or just really, really being pressed. Because if the 49ers are down 14-0 to the Packers in the second quarter, it's like, I'm not worried. I'm not worried unless that's like the fourth quarter, but I'm not worried. Like, if it's 7 minutes left, 14-0. You score this drive, you're fine because, I'm not too worried for the 49ers standpoint. It's not the Cowboys we're talking about here. It's the 49ers.
And I think that that's like an important distinction is I do feel like this is something, and obviously the Packers were the 7th seed and they won, but I think this is maybe a problem with these like lower competitions game. In the wild card round, every game was, aside from the Eagles Tampa game, was basically a blowout. Mm-hmm. And even that was kind of, it would have been more of a blowout if Tampa's wide receivers could have caught the ball. But I think that you expect when you get in the playoffs there to be this like extra level. And so the Packers might be like, they're a young team. They don't know what to expect, right? So they get all this like hype, like, okay, we're not even expected to be here. Now we're going to be going to this next round. We're going to be going to the playoffs. And then they play Dallas and they're like, oh, this isn't even that much harder. Like, and they could start feeling themselves not knowing, like when you get hit by Fred Warner for the first time, arrested Fred Warner, that's nothing like Dallas. Nothing you felt from Dallas is going to feel like that. Mm-hmm. And nothing you felt from Dallas is going to feel like how the 49ers are going to feel. They're not going to be as physical. They're not going to have the speed. They're not going to have the intensity, the energy. And I think that you're right when you say them kind of being a younger team and like maybe mentally giving up is I saw Matt LaFleur in his press conference earlier today. He talked about like the only way to keep up with San Francisco is to like match their physicality. Well, I hate to break it to Matt LaFleur. That's just not the Packers.
Only 2 defenses did that. And one of them got out of the playoffs.
That's not their identity right now at all. Browns, man. Joe Flacco giveth, Joe Flacco taketh away. I was like hyping that up. I'm like, the 49ers and Joe Flacco are going to reunite. Not quite a Disney movie.
No, this is a good point, though. I think this is why I said, like, I think of all the versions of the Packers and 49ers are facing the playoffs, that this is a more dangerous team. And I got some pushback on that because it's like, are you kidding? Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and their defense were better. Well, yeah, on paper, they were better. Sure, of course they were. But how'd they look when they actually played the 49ers? They looked soft. They were weak. And of the game they were supposed to win at home again in the snow against the 49ers, they lost, 13-10? Like, come on. That was an inexcusable loss by the Packers. So
the 49ers didn't score an offensive touchdown and won that game.
Yeah, and then plus all the pressure was on the Packers in that last game. And in 2019, it was kind of at that point, kind of the 49ers, you weren't expected to be. I know you're the number 1 seed, but like that one's kind of nip and tuck. Like, I think they're more dangerous because of how there's been surging the last 2 months. I don't think those Packers team were surging as much as like the last 2 months of the season, and they had like Jordan Love playing like their quarterback playing red hot. And again, I know it's Aaron Rodgers, but in those games, he's always been like, dude, this guy's not a factor. This guy's not an all-time player against this team. Like, he shrinks. And I think right now, when you have nothing to play for, when you have nothing to lose, like, it's like, dude, we're here. Like, we're just riding. Let's just keep it going, do our own thing. You become a little more composed and more relaxed. That's why I think it will be huge if the 49ers did early game, just punch the Packers in the mouth, get up in the lead. Now it's like, yeah, now let's see how the momentum feels now. Now you feel like you got something to lose, don't you? And that's where, like, being young versus like experienced and veteran, like a team like the 49ers have been going to like serious playoff runs since 2019 plays out and helps them because you can be more composed. Like, we're down 10-0, 14-0. We're at home. It's all good. Relax, guys. Do our thing. All we got to do is score one and hold them again or force a turnover. We're good. Whereas the Packers, you're more liable to be like, okay. So, yeah, they're dangerous right now, but that's what the 49ers have to do is take that shield off. Take that shield away. And how do you do that? You start the game strong and you make them not feel that momentum ever again.
Which is kind of interesting. Marco in the comments was saying if the Packers want to win, that's like what they have to do. It seems like both teams are going to have similar game plan strategies. Like the Packers are going to want to take the Niners out of it mentally by getting up early and maybe shocking the 49ers that they're able to.
The Packers would need some turnovers too, I think. I don't think you can just,
what
if
did
it's a clean game,
49er
you're going to win.
poker? What did 49er poker? By the way, there's a Packers fan in the chat, which I'm not going to ban, but he's like going off on everyone in the comments and not making wonderful points. But 49er poker said the Packers can win if they run the ball effectively, avoiding obvious passing situations and force turnovers on defense. Don't think it will happen, but it's their chance.
So you need a perfect game, basically. You need to run effectively, stay out of pass, and don't turn on the ball. And how many teams have done that?
If they do everything right against a very well-rested and healthy 49ers defense.
But the only way to do that is you have to be a
stop
physical
the 49ers really well-run offense.
That's just it. Packers are not a physical team. They've tried to be a physical team. That's
you think
why
Jair Brown, if healthy, obviously I know he's injured, but I can't see a situation where he doesn't go. He did